Hare Krishna. So, welcome all the devotees for our next series of Gita Life, part 2. So, we already discussed the 6 sessions, and then the essence and the conclusion of all the 6 sessions. I think everybody remembers, I assume. And that much everybody should be able to remember. What are the essence? ABCD, right? Very simple to remember. So, we should remember these 4 items ABCD, which is association, book reading, books of transcendental knowledge, and chanting and deity worship / diet, spiritual diet. So we discussed in the detail, and that lead us to our next set of sessions. We need to understand a little bit more about these 4 ABCD. So today we'll be starting with the first session, which is called the power of association, as you already know. So we'll begin with the prayers. So as you might have already noticed that every time when we begin something, we always chant the prayers. Now, many of you already might know that why we have to chant the prayers, but it is even more important to understand the significance of chanting the prayers before we really chant the prayers. So chanting the prayers means basically any activity what we do, we try to seek or invoke the blessings of the Lord for the activity. It's not only just for this class, but for that matter, anything you do in your life, it begins with the blessings of the Lord. So this is one way of invoking the blessings of the Lord by chanting. So when we chant these prayers, if you read the meaning of, because we don't discuss the meaning of those prayers, you will see those prayers are nothing but the glorification of the Lord. So we try to glorify the Lord, the greatness of the Lord, and not only just Lord, but the spiritual teachers and the whole parampara, the whole line, which connects us to the Supreme Lord. Because the understanding is that we don't try to directly approach the Lord. We are not qualified to directly approach the Lord. You can try, but we are not qualified that we can directly have the access to the Supreme Lord. So then there is a system. System is we go through the spiritual teachers, the Guru, then Acharyas, and there is a whole chain of disciplic succession, which we'll be discussing in the upcoming session. So through them, we try to seek the blessings of the Lord. So when we chant these prayers, so this is the prayers glorifying the Guru, the Acharyas, and the Supreme Lord. So with that understanding, with that mood, we begins any activity and we seek the blessings. And another important thing is we remind ourselves through these prayers, or we should remind ourselves through these prayers that whatever I'm doing for the pleasure of the Lord. Right? It is the savor to the Lord in whatever capacity we can do. So the idea is my activity should result in pleasing the Supreme Lord. And that is the perfection or the success of any activity you perform. Right? So at least that mood is invoked, that consciousness is developed. That okay, I'm doing this activity, I want to please the Lord. Then what happens, if you are not successful in your attempts, materially speaking, if you don't get the desired result of your activity, still there is a satisfaction that I tried, please the Lord. Maybe I did not get the result of my activity, that's fine. Maybe the Lord has some different plan for me, so He will give me, but at least my attempt was to satisfy the Lord. Right? And then why we should try to satisfy the Lord is a question. Right? So the Bhagavatam says, Yashmin tuste jagat tusta. So by satisfying the Supreme Lord, jagat tusta, the whole world is satisfied. That is the understanding from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Yatha taror moola nishechanena trapyanti tat skand bhujopashaka pranopahara shayathendriyana. So this example is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam, says Yatha Taror Mool Nishechanena. So the meaning is like when someone who waters the root of the tree, Taror Mool Nishechanena. Taru means tree, Mool means the roots. So when you try to water the root of the tree, then what happens? Trapyanti skand bhujopushaga. It will nourish. Just watering the root of the tree will nourish the skand bhujopushaga, the trunk, the branch, the leaves, the fruits, and the flowers. The water goes everywhere just by pouring the water into the root. So that is the understanding. That is the meaning of trying to satisfy the Supreme Lord. Try to satisfy the Lord, then everybody else will be satisfied. So with that understanding, we do the activity. So that mood of pleasing the Supreme Lord means the way of pleasing the Supreme Lord is chanting the prayers, glorifying the Lord, saying the name of the Lord, chanting the holy names of the Lord. So like that. So let's begin our prayers. I thought it is important to share this because every time we chant, so it should not become kind of a ritual. We should know that why we do what we do. Okay, so we'll begin the discussion with the prayers. So please join me. So you can fold your hands and then chant the prayers along with me. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Bracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashad Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today we'll be discussing about the power of association. We briefly touched on this topic last time, a little bit. We'll go a little more in detail. So this association, as they say, you tell me your friends, I'll tell you who you are. It's a famous saying, right? So you are known by your association. What is your association? People will judge you by your association. But it's a fact. You develop certain values, the qualities based on your association, right? So like, there is this example of the raindrop. When it falls and where does it associates, that will determine its destiny. So when the same raindrop, it falls in some, say, drainage, then people don't want that water to touch even on your feet because it becomes so contaminated. And then that drop, it falls on some hot, pan, it just vanishes just because of the touch. See the association? And then the same drop falls on the lotus leaf. It shines very bright when the sun rays falls on that. The same drop, when it falls in the oyster, it becomes a beautiful pearl. So the same drop, but where does it goes and associate? So that is the power of association. It can make you into something great, or it can degrade you, your association. Right? This famous story, it might sound a little odd, but it's a good story to know. Start with, like one person, he ate the samosa in the evening, and morning when he goes to pass, right? And when he was looking at his waist, and then he was thinking, oh my God, look at this. Yesterday evening, I ate the samosa, and this morning it has become like this, such a waste smelling. It is looking so nasty and obnoxious just because it associated with me all night. Right? So anyway, jokes apart, but the point is your association can degrade you or it can upgrade you. So this association plays a very, very significant role. So what happens, sometimes we are not consciously doing all these things, but unconsciously you might be associating with some people which might result in degradation of yourself. So better you just be conscious of your association. Better consciously choose your association, people around you. So what we are going to discuss in this today's discussion is 3 items. First of all, we need to understand what is this association is all about. Second is why we should associate. And the third one is learn the art of how to associate. Because we are talking association, but there are different aspects of association. So we'll begin our discussion. Say now, because this Ram Navami is going on, the Thursday we celebrated the Ram Navami. And again, tomorrow we are doing the festival in the temple. Those who could not join on Thursday, so we are doing tomorrow also. So there is this episode of this Ram Navami, the Ramayana, the whole Ramayana, the seed begins from where? From one association. What are that association? Kekai associating with mantra. This mantra was a lady who was a little poisoned. And then she can transfer the poison into Kekai. Now, when you read the Ramayana, you will see the description. This Kekai, she was not a wicked lady from the beginning. She loved the Ram like the mother Kaushalya, equally, as good as her own son. But this mantra with some bad intention, with poisonous intent, she came and then she poisoned the mind of Kekai also. The whole Ramayana happens. Now, of course, this is a different context altogether. But in this context, what we are trying to understand is one bad association can spoil your relationship, can change the course of your life completely. You become a villain. All right. So people don't, name any girl as Kekai or Mantra. You will find some people with the name Kaushalya or Sumitra. But I don't think like somebody says that my daughter's name is Kekai. Right? Because of we understand that how the bad association. And she became so condemned that people don't put her name to anyone like that. So this is the power of association. Okay, so this has been explained in the Bhagavad Gita, the famous verse. Says, Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhiyantasya Parasparam Katyantasya Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. So this is the verse from Bhagavad Gita 10 chapter 9th verse, wherein Krishna is talking about, says, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are surrendered to me, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss, enlightening one another and conversing about me. So basically, you see the word here saying Bodhiyantasya Parasparam. So if anybody wants to progress in the path of spiritual life and you want to become more Krishna conscious, then how to practice it? So Krishna is guiding here, saying Bodhiyantasya Parasparam. It's not recommended that you sit at your home alone and you chant, you read, you advance in spiritual life. No, it is very difficult to practice spiritual life alone. And that's the reason last time we already launched this program of ABC, association, book reading and chanting. And of course, it's a diet also, a spiritual diet. So we launched this program of every evening attending this 15-minute call. And I think some of you are already joining this. Those who are not joining, please try to join that. It will be really helpful. So last week, because of a lot of things were going on, some festival, and we did some Ramayana session also. So it was not very consistent. But the idea is doing this consistently every day. This 15 minutes of investment will result in great progress in the spiritual life. So those who are joining online and somebody who's not aware of this, please try to join this 15-minute evening call. So that you can share in the chat box if those who are not signed up for that, please join that. Okay. Coming back to our discussion is Bodhiyantasya Parasparam. We should not alone, but Katyantasya Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. We should discuss about Krishna. We should share what you read. You can ask the questions in the association of devotees. And their mind dwells in Krishna, in the association. And then when you come in the association, then that discussion about Krishna becomes very pleasurable. Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. You derive great satisfaction and you relish a lot. If you sit alone, read Bhagavad Gita, after a while you will be bored. Or you will feel, okay, this is enough. But when you are talking to the devotees, you want to share more, you want to learn more, you want to explore more. So that is the power of association. Okay. So the simple example. Those who are joining online, please put your answer in the chat. I'm putting a question. Question is already there. What is this? What do you see in the screen? People can put on chat, and those who are in person, you can say your answer. What is this? 13? Okay. People are like agitating. We should not say that. Okay. Most of the people are saying 13, 13, 13. Okay.
1 and 3, 13. 1, 3 together will form 13.
1 and 3 together, 13. Okay.
Association.
Okay. So most of the people are saying 13. Great. Let us see what it is. Now you see your answer. What it is? See how your answer changed. So as in the beginning we said, you tell me your friends, I'll tell who are you. So you're known by your company. So when you see this A and C, they're the friends, then it must be B, not 13. Right? So this is the power of association. People will know you by your association with your friends. Right? So let us talk about this. What is this association means? It's very important to understand. So association is not just neutral dealing. Neutral dealing means every day we meet a lot of people. When you go to the market, you might be meeting some sabji wala, right? And some other people also in the street. And in your office also you are meeting a lot of people. Is that considered as association? That is not association. So we need to understand this neutral dealing or this dutiful meeting, a duty bound meeting is not association. We're casually meeting and just getting your work done. That is not considered as association. So what is association is 3 things you should remember here. So it is like, okay, 2 things. Being influenced or influencing others. Association means this. Either you're getting influenced by others, by their association, or you are influencing others. That is what is meant to say that association. So in our context, when we are talking about in the spiritual group, so 3 things. Association means 3 things means you can remember this. When we meet the people, someone you associate, then what should happen is Krishna Katha should happen. Something you should discuss about the spiritual topics. Gita, Bhagavatam, Ramayana, something what you hear in the class. You have some questions, you share, right? And then by this, knowledge transfer, and it should result in heart transformation. So these are the 3 items which is the result of the right association. There is a meaningful discussion, knowledge transfer, and then should result in heart transformation. So that is what is the association means. We're interested in the positive heart transformation, not just casual meeting the people. Right? So with the association, we try to adopt the values of others, knowingly or unknowingly. When you see some people, you feel inspired, you feel you get impressed. So hero means like this. I also want to be like this. So it can be some outside materialistic person also, and it can be in the association of devotees. When you come and meet the devotees, and then you feel inspired. Oh, I also want to practice like this. This person is so consistent, so sincere, so serious about spiritual practice. So I also feel inspired to be like him. That is the power of association. That is the meaning of association. Okay, now question is, why should we associate? Why we should associate? Because we are attending this session. So they're saying, okay, associate. Okay, so there is a scriptural reference to this. Chaitanya Charitamrita explained this. So it's a powerful verse. It says, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Goy, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. So all the scriptures, conclusion of all scriptures is this: Sadhu Sangha, Satsang, association of devotees. Right? Because love matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. Love is not English wala love. This is Sanskrit love. Love means this is the unit of time. right? We know few units of time like hour, minute, seconds, days, months, but there is a smaller unit than the second. So what we call them, the pal. In the movie songs, you will listen all this pal pal and something like. So we think it is all same, but not same. There is a specific measurement to this units, and then they call it churn, pal, churn, like that. This is also another unit. Love. What is the love? What is the measurement of the love? 1/12 part of the second. So 1 second divided by 12. That is the time, very small particle of time, fraction of time. That is called love. So it says lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. For that moment, fraction of that moment, if you associate with the devotees, you never know that how it will result. Sarva siddhi hoy. You'll attain the perfection. How you will attain? That is the mystery. So that is the power of association. So Shastra says like this. Let us see just few more things. So association says it brings about transformation. So Prabhupada tells this story of this thief. This person is a habitual thief. So one time he learned that there is a group of devotees. They're going on a pilgrimage. So he thought it's a good opportunity. If I join this group, they all will be together, and maybe in just one shot I'll become once for all billionaire. Not billionaire, means in his context, that every day I had to go and hunt something. So there's a bunch of people are going, let me join this. So in the garb of a devotee, he came and he joined that troop of the pilgrims. So they're going, and the whole day they'll be keep walking on a pedal yatra, right? So when they're going whole day, in the night they'll be exhausted completely. So then everybody was sleeping fast asleep, and in a moment's notice, everybody is snoring. And this person, because he was habitual of, because his work began in the night only, so he doesn't get sleep in the night. So he says, my time starts now. So when everybody was asleep, he made sure, and then he says, okay, this is a good opportunity. So all their luggages and all their bags were just lying there, and he started picking all those bags, and then he started walking out from that camp. And then as soon as he started walking out, he walked out, and there is a inner voice to himself. He says, what are you doing? These people all are devotees. They come here for some, for some yatra. And if I do this, that will be very bad on my part. So I should not be doing this. And there is another voice like that. So he goes back and kept all the bags back to the place. Then again, another voice. Say, no, don't be sentimental like this. Duty is duty. Don't be emotional. Do your work nicely, sincerely. So don't get carried away by these emotions. Do your job. Then again, he picked the bag, and then he started walking out. And then he walked few steps. Then again, there is a voice. So the whole night, back and forth, he was going, coming, keeping. Then again, say, no, I should take. Then going out, coming back. And the whole night he was in the conflict. And finally, by the time he could finalize or decide what to do, it was already daytime. So he said, okay, maybe tomorrow I should try. So morning when everybody got up, so there was a mess around. People were just finding their bags. It was all misplaced, and all of that. And there was a commotion in the whole camp. Hey, what happens? Where is my bag missing? He said, oh, is this your bag? And your bag is here. And they were wondering like what happened. And this person so submissively comes, and he humbly submits that, it is my mistake. And he explained that I'm a thief. I'm a habit, and I thought I'll come but I couldn't do this. So Prabhupada narrates this story. He says, just by that little association of those devotees, his consciousness got transformed already. So he wanted to do that, but he couldn't do. There is a voice. So that is the power of association. Right, that happens. There is another one story. It's a real story actually. 130 years back. So this Vaishnava Sri Sampradaya. So one of the Vaishnava Acharya, one sannyasi, they are walking with the whole group of the disciples. So the tradition was whenever they go out, they had to maintain their standard of worshipping and offering and all of that. So they'll carry some deity along. So they made their stay in some forest kind of place with the deity and some group of people, and they're worshipping and all of that. So they're carrying all the dresses and jewelry for the deities. So then there was a this group of robbers came in the forest, and they say that hand over all this deity and all the jewelry and all of that. So now they are in a helpless situation. So the sannyasi, he says, okay, if you want this, please take it. Don't harm anyone here. But I can request you one thing, that if you allow me to do little worship for today at least, anyway, you will take away this deity, won't be able to do this. So please allow us to do this worship today. And then you just wait for a few minutes and few hours. We'll finish our worship. And then after that, you happily take, we won't object. So somehow some sense came to this robber. Says, okay, do fast whatever you want to do quickly. And they're all standing with a gun point or whatever. And this sannyasi, nicely with a lot of love and devotion in the whole group, they're worshipping the deities, they're doing the abhishekam, they're chanting the arthis, offering the arthis, chanting the kirtan, dressing the Lord, and they cooked and they offer the food, the bhoga to the Lord. And out of the bhoga, prasadam distribution. And they're having the prasadam, they called, hey, why don't you also come and have some prasadam? And these people are also standing and waiting, probably they were hungry. So then says, okay, give us some prasadam. So they ate the prasadam. And as soon as they ate the prasadam, there's a transformation in the heart. So this robber, he started crying, tears. And he said, I'm such a fool. What a blunder I would have done. I have realized my mistake. So now my request to you is, don't stay in the forest. Because now we are not looting you, but there might be other group of robbers may come. They might harm you. So I don't want that you should be harmed like this. So please, go out of this forest and we'll, escort you unless you reach the city. So this robber who came to loot, they became the escort to take them to the safe place in the city. So this is the power of this momentary association. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Go, Love Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Ho. So the person can get completely transformed by the right association of devotees. We have many, many examples. One of the example is this Valmiki Rishi. Now, why these examples are coming? Because this is Ramanavami season is going on. So becoming more Ram conscious. So this Valmiki Rishi, his past is, he was a looter. He was Ratnaka Daku. Right? He will loot the people, passers-by. So one time he attempted to loot some sages. So they say, okay, anyway, we don't have much. Whatever we have, you take and take. But I have a question for you. They ask the question. What is the question? He says, you're doing all these things, looting the people. It's a great sin and you have to suffer for that. So first they ask that, okay, why you are doing this? He says, this is my profession, to maintain my wife and my kids and my family. So he says, okay, you're doing, but it's a very sinful job. So probably just go and ask your wife and your kids, your family, they will share your suffering when it will come to you because you're doing this sinful activity. So he never thought this. So he says, wait, stay here, I'll come back with the answer. So he goes to the wife, he says, would you share whatever suffering has to come to me? And the wife was like very straight, very honest. Say, why would I share? Right? That is your job to maintain us. So you have to figure out how you will maintain us. So I'm not ready to. So then he came to his senses. And then he came and fell at the feet of the devotee, the saintly people. And he said, I didn't know, I was so ignorant, I was doing all through my life. Please guide me how to get rid from this reactions and going forward, what should I do? And they guided him, they initiated him in chanting the Ram Nam. And then by chanting the Ram Nam, he became such a great sage, Valmiki, that he became the compiler of the great epic Ramayana. So that is the power of that association. So we have these examples like this, right? So this association brings the transformation. Okay. Another item about association is it results in the purification of false ego. So we are discussing last time, right? We are so egoistic, we are self-obsessed, we are self-centered. Our language is ahamameti, me and mine. What is there for me? I don't care about others. But when you come in the association of devotees, then gradually your language changes. From me and mine, it becomes you and yours. And okay, it is Lord, you, because of you only I am able to do this. And everything belongs to you. This result also, the success also I got, I offer it to you. So this is devotee parlance. The language in the circle of devotees. In the outside world, the language is ahamameti. So it helps. So we learn this kind of language only in the right association. So this value system develops. So it results in purification of false ego. So Prabhupada gives this wonderful example of how if we learn to become, instead of self-centered, if we make our life God-centered, then there would be reduction in a lot of clashes to your amazement. Like in day-to-day life, you might be having a lot of clashes. Might be in your family, it might be in your office, in your friend circle or wherever. But when you become from self-centered to God-centered, life completely changes. So Prabhupada gives the example of throwing a stone in the water. A small piece of stone you throw in the pond, and you see that ripples have been created, right? And you throw another stone at the same center. So you can throw 100 stones at the same center. The ripples being created every time, it will never clash because the center is same. But as soon as you throw one pebble, the different center, there is another ripple is being created, it will clash. Right? So it's so very important to keep the Krishna at the center of our life. So how do you learn all of that? Keeping Krishna in the center of your life. These kind of things can be learned and practiced in the association of devotees. In the outside world, what you learn? Keep yourself in the center of life. So it purifies our ego. And life is much easier and much happier. Okay. Another thing what we learn is learn to give credit than take credit. This is also another disease. Sometimes we don't know what and all our diseases are there. We are very expert in taking the credits. Right? We are hungry. We are thirsty. We are starving. Taking the credits for something you have done, and even something which you have not even done. You want to take the credit. Somebody do something, someone did something, and then you say, oh, and then people are glorifying that person. You say, yeah, but I only gave this idea to him. Originally, it begins from me only, but I don't want all of this name fame. So I said, okay, you take care. Like that. We are very expert in taking the credits. Right? But when you come in the association of devotees, then we learn to give the credits to others. Starting from giving credit to the Lord, and not only just to the Lord, but we start giving credit to the others, the devotees, the fellow devotees. Say, okay, by the blessings of the devotees, by the blessings of the Vaishnavas, I'm able to achieve this. So it results in this also. Okay. And another important thing which happens is it helps to uncover good qualities. As being the soul, we are all pure beings, like a pure raindrop. And what happens? When the raindrop falls in the drainage, becomes contaminated. So as being a soul, we are all pure. But when we come in this material world, we get influenced by the three modes of material nature. So like a magnet or the iron piece, which get rusted. And what happens? Its ability to get attract to magnet significantly reduces. So we all have the ability to get attracted to the Supreme Lord because we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. But why we are not finding it attractive? Why we are not attracted to Krishna? Because we are rusted. What is this rust? Rust of the modes of material nature. The different kind of covering. It is tamogun, rajogun, or satagun. But everything is a covering. So these coverings has been explained like the different gloves. Right? So what and all gloves comes to your mind? Different kind of gloves. Who uses the gloves? Where we use the gloves? Construction work.
Surgery.
Surgeon uses the gloves. What else? Cleaner they uses. So basically, you see the different kind of gloves. So one thing, the surgeon's gloves, which is very thin, right? Still you can feel something little bit. And another is in the cricket, right? They use the gloves. That is little thick, protects you from external. And then another is boxing gloves, which is really thick. You can't have any feel. So these three modes of material nature as compared to Satogun is like the gloves of a surgeon. Where I still have some sense, something touching and all that. Then Rajogun is compared to the gloves of the cricket. And then the boxing gloves is like Tamogun. You're completely ignorant. You don't know what is happening outside. So when we get discovered, then your ability, the good ability is to get attracted to Krishna, is covered. So this association helps to uncover our good qualities. Right? Okay. So now question is, what is the quality of a devotee? And another thing that I would like to add here is how does another point, how that this association of devotees helps us to progress in the spiritual path. Give you an example of, again, it might be a little not very appropriate example, but it will make the point very clear. So when someone who's a drunkard, he want to drink, right? So most of the people, they don't like to drink alone. They want some company, some friends, some group. They go to the bar, some party and like that. So what happens with that, company of, drunkards? Alone probably you might be sitting and taking 1 or 2 pack or something like that. Sleep peacefully. What he will do, he'll be bored, right? But when he is in a group, he is an association of other drunkards, two things happens. What happens? It increases his capacity. Instead of one, he might end up taking more, right? So it increases capacity and it increases the taste also. You like that. So that is what happens in the association. So when we are all interested in spiritual progress, so you might be sitting at home doing one mala, little bit more and something. But when you come in the association of devotees, what happens? Your capacity increases. You see, oh, he's chanting 16 now. His capacity is bigger. I should also try to chant 16. If not 16, 8 or something more than what I do. So it increases your capacity and it increases also the quality, the taste. Look, everybody chanting so nicely. Let me also chant. And then start developing the taste. So this is what happens in the association. So this association is very, very important. Right? In the right association with the like-minded people, the words of a feather flock together. Right? So when you come in the association of devotees, you chant more and you relish more. Otherwise, you might end up spending just maybe half an hour. But in the association of devotees, you can spend maybe 2 hours. It happens. That is the power of association. The question is, what is this devotee we are talking? Who is a devotee that we should really associate with? What are the quality of the devotee? It is just some external appearance or there are certain qualities. So there are many, many qualities which have been explained in the scriptures. But I'll tell you through this story. It's a nice story of this person. His name is Koresh. He comes to one saintly person and he asks this question, who is a devotee? And that saintly person, he did not answer him. He says, go to Tirupati and there is one great Acharya. His name is Ananta Acharya. Go there and spend some time there. And then after that, I'll answer your question. So he just followed him. So he goes there to Ananta Acharya. It's a big ashram and a lot of disciples and all that. So he goes there and he says, I'm recommended by this person. So the first day when he went there, he reached there, they welcomed him, the grand welcome. So please come, have a nice seat, gave him nice food, nicely fed him, a lot of respect, honor, and he felt so nice, so good. And then next day, when he comes, so when he comes for the prasadam, then they tell him to go and stand in the queue. So he goes and stand in the queue. A turn came, he ate the prasadam, and then he sit in one corner. Third day, again, he came in the queue, took the prasadam. He said, hey, don't sit here. Go outside. You're not allowed here. Go outside, sit outside in the park or somewhere. He goes outside. So then he started realizing that something had changed. First day, they were welcomed me like anything. Second day, they asked me to go in the queue. Third day, they're not even allowing me to stay in the prasadam hall. They're asking me to stay outside. Like that, he spent 10 days. And every consecutive day, his treatment was becoming worse and worse and worse. And then after 10 days, finally, he got the chance. He said, okay, now today is your turn. You can meet the Ananta Acharya. So he came and then he asked the question. That my question is, who is a devotee? So this Ananta Acharya, of course, he gave in a different language, Sanskrit. The meaning is, he said 4 things. Who is an Acharya? So what he says, who is a devotee, sorry. So he says, devotee is like a crane, not that lifting wala crane bird, right? So he says, devotee is like a crane, devotee is like a hen, murgi. Devotee is like a salt, and devotee is like you. And he said, now you go. He did not understand anything. He said, I have waited for 10 days. I, tolerated all kinds of your treatment. And the answer you gave me like in 10 seconds, devotee is like a crane, he's like a hen, he's like a salt, he's like you. Please go. Now he has to go. So he goes back to his guru. He says, how was it? And he explained the whole thing. That this is what happened. And finally I got this answer, but I did not understand anything. Then this Acharya, he explains, okay, but I understood everything. I'll explain you what the Ananta Acharya's answer is. So he says the devotee is like a crane. Crane is, what do you call crane in English? It's Bagula? Saras. Okay. So it's like that. So the crane, what happens sometimes like Bagula or maybe something. So the bird which stands on the shore and Bagula, I think that is Bagula. With like meditation, closed eyes, and he waits for the fish. Right. So devotee is like this. He says he's like the crane, means the devotee should be very carefully standing and waiting for the right time. So like a crane, he waits. So what happens when a small fish comes? It doesn't do anything. Like, he doesn't pay attention to the fish. Then another bigger fish comes, doesn't pay attention. So then that area becomes a safer zone for all the fish to come. And this is safe to go there. So all the small fishes comes, he doesn't do anything. Then finally, because he's targeting something big. So when all the fishes, they get the confidence, oh, we can go there, no harm. And then finally, when big fish comes, suddenly he pounds on the big fish. So devotee should be like this. So life will throw many small fishes, like small opportunities to enjoy, like materialistic opportunities. Okay, I enjoy this, I enjoy that. Devotee doesn't pay attention to all those materialistic pleasures. He is very focused on the real pleasure. That is Krishna consciousness. So he doesn't get affected by all them. So sometimes, all these small fishes come, some friend comes, says, okay, come to the party. I'll give you enough. How much ever you can drink. Free. Free food. Go to the restaurant. Whatever you want to eat. He doesn't get tempted by all those such worldly pleasures. He waits for the right time. Okay, when I get the opportunity to become Krishna conscious, that is my pleasure. So I'll wait till that time. So devotee is like a crane. Another thing is devotee is like a hen. So hen, you will see sometimes they go to, where a lot of trash is, gathered. They go to that pile of trash, and then this hen goes there with a beak, tuk, and they keep, it's all kachra only there, all trash. But the hen is that have the ability of, in the trash, she finds something valuable. The hen finds some food, even in the trash also. So they go there and they keep poking. And then suddenly they find one small piece of some food particle, they'll eat that. Then again they keep poking, and then they find something. So a devotee is like that. This material world is all about the trash. Trash in the sense, there's no spiritual stuff. All materialistic stuff only. But you should be very careful. We had to be in this material world, you had to be sitting on the pile of the garbage, but you just take only the real food, which is the spiritual food. So devotee is only, interested in the spiritual stuff. All rest is like a kachra. So you keep poking, keep scratching, keep digging it, but then find the real stuff. So it's like that. Another item is devotee is like a salt. What is this salt thing? So what is the special feature of the salt? Anybody? People want to put in the chat the answer?
When it is very less, it is very nice. It adds taste. But when it's too much or more than the desired quantity, then it spoils everything.
Yeah, that is also one thing.
Irrespective of its presence, it's never visible.
Yes. So that is how a devotee should be. See, when you go to somebody's house and they offer you night food stuff and all that, some South Indian, North Indian, Mexican, Chinese, whatever, and you love the food. Say, wow, it was wonderful, idli, sambar, or pizza, or pasta, whatever you say. Nobody says, oh, it was wonderful salt. right? The salt is never recognized, but without salt, that wonderful preparation will not have any taste. You made nice preparation, but you forgot to add the salt. Then nobody will appreciate that preparation. So actually, this salt plays a very, very significant role, but it never takes the credit. So devotee is like that. You're talking about we are hungry of all taking the credits. A devotee is the one, the true devotee is, he plays a very, very significant role. He does a lot of responsible services, but he always stands at the back. He's not really hungry for name, fame, all the appreciation and all kinds of credit. So that is what is one of the quality of a devotee. So you'll see all these great acharyas, great saintly people, they never come and boast, oh, I am so great, I did something, and nobody could do that, I could do that. Nothing like that. They just remain somewhere hiding. And the main item is on the front. So like that. So devotee is like a salt. And another item is, so they say that work hard silently, make, let your success make the noise. That should be the policy. People, most of the people in this modern age, you will see, especially in the social media, everybody is just about, making noise only, doing nothing, just making noise. I did this, I did that, I went there, I went here, did something. Nobody knows what he did, but they'll pose as if they have done some great achievements. So devotee is always on the back, very silent. And then he said the fourth thing, devotee is like you. What it means? So this person, Quraysh, he was treated so badly, 10 days, but he was still very determined to meet the Acharya. So generally what happens when you're not treated well, then what happens? You just give up. You say, forget it, I don't want to talk to these people. So basically, you are tested. But if you are really sincere to know about something, then you have to deal with all those things. You have to tolerate all of that. All right. So a devotee should be like this. When we are seriously interested on the spiritual path, there might be a lot of hurdles. You might see so many things. The challenges with your schedule, your work, your family situation, your health situation, so many other things. But if you are seriously interested, then you just cope up with all of that and just keep moving on the path. Stay determined. So that shows the sign of sincerity. So he said that devotee is like you. So the nature of this world is like this. The people are there, situations are there, circumstances are there, they'll always try to pull you down. So if you get carried away by all the situations and the people and the circumstances, then you're off the goal. You cannot achieve the success, you cannot achieve your goal. So you should be very, very determined. Utsaha, nishyat, dharya. So you should be very, very enthusiastic. At the same time, you should have a lot of patience and confidence. And if you continue to move on this path, you'll attain the success. So don't be afraid of some small hurdles and all that. That will come. That is the part of the process. Right? So that is a devotee. So we should associate with such kind of a devotee. Now, of course, when we read the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam, we find more description of who is a real devotee. We'll understand that. But just to give the glimpse of that, association means associating with this kind of personalities. This is the meaning of association. It will result in Krishna Katha, knowledge transfer, and the heart transformation. Purpose is heart transformation. Especially in our context, heart transformation means we should become more and more closer to Krishna. We should become more and more interested in spiritual practices. That is the whole idea. Otherwise, it becomes like a tick mark. Okay, we attend the session, we go to the temple once in a week or once in a month or whatever. But how it is resulting in, what it is resulting in is a question. So there has to be some, litmus test what it is resulting in. So that's the point. So this association helps us to get us closer to Krishna. Okay. So let me pause here. I'll just tell another small, nice lesson. But before that, let me see if anybody has any question or any comment on what we discussed on association. Those are joining online. No questions. Okay.
Very significant. That is why it's being called that एक घड़ी आधी से दुनिया तुलसी संगत साथ की हरे कोटि रतन साधुओं का संग करते हो तो आपके अपराध भी कट जाते हैं तो उनकी वाइस
Right. Similar to like love mantra sadhu sangha sarvasiddhi, free from all contamination. Yes.
Association, you can actually think which you cannot achieve by yourself.
Yes. Yes. We are coming to that point. Very important point you brought. So this is the lesson from the geese. You know the geese? The bird, right? So there are some lessons I'll just read from here. Some analysis is being done. So how this association is so powerful, which can be learned from the flying of the geese. So one thing is if you have noticed, or maybe you can just Google it, you will see the geese is a bird. So they always fly in the group, in the flock. They never fly alone. So how they fly is they make V formation, V like violin wala V. So they always fly like this in the V formation. So what happens? See, the power of this association, power of being in the like-minded people, it results in what? So there are few points I'll just explain from here. Okay. So it is explained here. So when they fly, they make the V formation and they keep quacking. Quack, quack, quack. That is how. So they keep making the noise and they keep pushing. So basically through this quack, they encourage each other. Okay, chalo, 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 chalo. Yes, come on, you can do. Yes, little more like that. So one thing is, one analysis has been done. It says, as each word flaps its wings, it creates an uplift for the other word flying in the V formation. Whole flock provides 71% better range than flying alone. So when they make this V formation and they fly together, they create some kind of a force, which increases their efficiency to 71% flying in a group than flying alone. So you see how significant it is. You're flying alone. You have to put 71% extra effort to fly, which becomes easy just to be in the group and in that particular formation, right? So that is the power of association. Your efforts are significantly reduced. As you said, something which you find like a big deal, it becomes very easy in the association of devotees. Like when we say, okay, chant Hare Krishna mantra, 16 rounds. And the first statement in the beginning, everybody says, Prabhuji, for me in this life, not possible, 16 now. I am not meant for this. And it's a matter of few days, you will be chanting 16 rounds because you are in the association of devotees. How and when you develop the taste, that interest, that strength, you don't know. You just drive a lot of strength, a lot of inspiration, a lot of power from that association. And which was very difficult and kind of impossible for you, you can very easily do that. So that is the power of flying in this. Okay. So this is the power of this being in an association. So it is said, people who share a common direction and the sense of community reach their destination quicker on the strength of others' common interest and the strength and their abilities and their competence. So what happens in the association, you might be good in something, other person might be good in something. So you share the strength and the abilities and the competence of others. And that makes the things easy to achieve your goal. So that happens only, this is possible only in the association of devotees. Okay. Now we know this example of when people go on some trekking and some pedal yatra and all that. You will hardly see the people goes alone in pedal yatra. Pedal yatra means go in a group. So what happens? You might be feeling tired, exhausted sometime, and then you will see some old person is walking. Say, look at this old person. He's walking so fast. I'm such a young man. You should take some inspiration. Or when you really get tired and you try to give up, and say, hey, just a little more, just a little here only, just in few more minutes. Keep pushing you like that. And finally, with the strength of all this association, you reach your destination, which otherwise is very, very difficult if you go all alone. You'll give up on the way. Right? So this is one thing. Okay. Now another item is so in that geese, when they're flying, so sometimes what happens, somebody falls out from that flock. So then what happens? they're pushed inside. So somebody is just flying and someone, one geese that just go out of the flock. But it said when it falls out from the flock, it feels the force to drag back and get back to the draft closed by goose. This kind of a force. So as soon as you try to go away, somebody will pull you in. So in the association of devotees, what happens? You're coming regularly, you're chanting, and suddenly, 1 week you're not there. Somebody will call you, Prabhuji, you're missing this time. Everything is okay. You didn't come today in the session. Why are you not coming for last 2 sessions? Are you chanting? Everything is okay. Then you say the people are following. Let me go this time. So you are trying to just go out of the flock, but then somebody is pulling you in. That happens only in association. So you remain intact in your purpose. And then another important item is, so sometimes leading goose gets tired and rotates back another goose to take leading role. So this is also another important point, that this is the lesson for the leadership. And it's not like you're holding on to the position and power. People should take turn in the leadership. All right. So this leading goose, it takes little efforts, and when leading the whole show, they get tired and exhausted. And then finally what happens? Says, okay, why don't you come? I'll go back, you take the role. So this is about leadership. So you have the people, you have to train the people, you have to give the opportunity to the people. This is how any leadership works. So unlike, in this modern age, everybody just want to hold on to the position unless they die. And that is not the way. Should create more leadership. So the successful leadership is about creating more leaders and giving them the opportunity. And you take a back seat and giving the opportunity to others. So that also happens in the goose. So one flock, one bird comes back and give the chance to other. And another important thing happens here is, okay, so I told about the honking from the back. So they keep honking. So basically this honking is all about encouraging others. Now this honking can be encouraging and discouraging also. Most of the people, they honk for discourage others. Hey, what you have done, I have done better than you. This is also another kind of honking. So our honking should be to encouraging others. So they keep honking from the back. Come on, you can do. So then it gives you a lot of strength and the force to just keep moving. So that happens. And another important thing is, what happens is in the geese, when one geese falls sick, something happens, then the 2 geese comes out of the flock to take care of this, fallen geese. A sick or something happens, wounded. So the point is, the 2 people take the responsibility of taking care of the 3rd one, but it doesn't mean that everything is hampered, everything is stopped. No, the progress, the mission should go on, but some people take the responsibility. So in the association of devotees, what happens if you are sick, something happens, there would be people to take care of you, right? And the things will go on. It's not like everything is stopped because somebody is fallen sick. So, okay, we have to wait for that. And then what happens? They take care and they stays with that bird unless either it recovers or it dies. So if in case it dies or recovers, then they join another flock, but they always remain in the flock. So this is the power of association. You get the support from the people. Otherwise, you're all alone. You have to deal with your own challenges and your own sickness and so many kind of trauma in this material world. So there is a support system. So this is what is the power of association that we learn. Right now, okay. The last thing that I'll just quickly explain. The question is, okay, this was flying of the geese, how to associate. We discussed about the association, the power of association, the benefits of association. Question is how to associate. So this has been explained by the Rupa Goswami, one of the Acharya, in one of the book called the Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction. Some beautiful verse which explains Dadati prati granadi goyam akhyati prachati bhungte bhojyate cheva sadvidam priti lakshanam. So this is the priti lakshan. So how you should associate. There is a way when you are in the association of devotees, what should be your etiquettes. So this is the Dadati prati granadi. Dadati means to give. Prati granadi means to receive something. So there is a principle of giving and receiving. Now there's a lot of details to this, but I'm just giving you some synopsis on this. And then Guyam Akhyati Prachati. Another 2 items are Huya Makyadi. Share confidentially. Something is going in your life, you're finding it difficult. Then you have the people in the group, in the association, where you can go and reveal your heart. Now, this revealing the heart cannot be done with each and everyone because it is your personal life, your confidential stuff. You cannot reveal your heart with everyone. But in the association, find the right people, those who are mature enough, spiritually elevated, they're little confidential, faithful people, trustworthy people. Go and reveal your heart and seek some clarification. Goyam Akhyadi, telling your confidential things, and Prachadi, ask the questions. So this is happens. This is how we should associate. So not just simply going, coming as a ritual. Do share your heart, how the things are going in your life. Are you facing some challenges? Things are really going well, then share that also. People feel inspired. Some challenging situations is happening in your life, in your path of your spiritual progress. Share your heart. Seek some clarification. Seek some guidance. How can I do? I'm not able to cope up with this. My work and the spiritual things, the right balance. I'm not figuring out. So share your heart. And then bhungte bhojjate jeva. Bhungte means they will invite you, you feed them, and then when they invite you, you go for the. So what happens? It results in creating that bonding. So in the association, it should result in nice bonding, spiritual bonding, not material bonding. That you are interested in that how can and what I can take from this person, some benefit, I'll take away and I'll just go away. No. Spiritual bonding. So what happens? Dadati prati. You give something, take something. Now this giving and taking should not on be material platform. That you give one gift, I'll give you gold chain, and I'll expect even thicker gold chain. Otherwise, I'll be disturbed. What is this I gave you on your kid's birthday? I came and gave you the gold chain. What you're giving me, the silver chain? What is this nonsense? So as soon as you bring some material values, then your association and your relation is spoiled. So it's dadati pratik means spiritual things. For example, sometime you go to some pilgrimage, you go to Vrindavan, Tirupati, get some prasadam from there, share with everyone. Roji, I went to Vrindavan and I got the prasadam. They feel so good that you thought about them and you gave them something. Next time they also go to some temple, they'll bring something. Can be some spiritual gifts like that, right? Somebody will give you some book. Roji, I read this book, it was so wonderful, so insightful. I thought I'll just gift you so you can read and you can also be benefited. So this kind of gifts. And talk to the devotees, share your heart, and then love. So this is the way. Now this verse itself is like a whole one discussion, whole session. So we are not getting into that. But these are the few thoughts. Let me pause here and see if anybody's any quick question or any comment. Okay, so the question is here, which has that how to get out of not too good association politely. Yeah. So there are different ways. One thing is best way is communicate. If you really feel that this association not helping me, it's not a good association, you just get away. But if you're a little concerned about if I start ignoring them, avoiding them, then it might end up spoiling my relationship with this person. They're my close friends, but they're not talking something great stuff. So you can politely communicate to them. And they say, we have been talking all this, something, it's not helping out in any way to either of us. So let us, share and discuss something which is more meaningful. Or maybe if you don't want to say that also, then probably you take the initiative of sharing something. So say, I read Bhagavad Gita today, I read this verse, and I want to share something. Either that person would be interested. If that person is not interested, he will only just go away from you. So your job is easy. So we can do that. So this is the question that I got in the chat box to Joshna ji. So yeah, we can communicate either or take some initiative, start doing something which is more meaningful. If that person really values of those things, then he'll stay with you. Otherwise, that person will only try to just get away from you. That can be done. Or otherwise, we can communicate with the person. But we should not waste our time in talking something which is useless or something like that. So these are the things can be done. Okay. Any other question? So are you ready with the quiz? So last time we couldn't do the quiz. So I don't want to miss it. So that quiz will help in revising all our 6 sessions. So how do we do that? Okay. Okay, so we'll do this quiz, maybe another 5-10 minutes. Those are joining online. So how do I log in into this? Scout.it. Okay, so just to participate in this quiz, take out your mobile phones. Those who are joining online, you can do on your mobile or on your computer. And then what you should do is type kahoot.it in the browser and put this game pin, right? Either you should have the Kahoot app, or if you don't have the app, that's okay. Go to the browser, type kahoot.it and put the pin, which is 358-8336. Okay, so I see the people are joining in. Arita, Madan, Surya. Alka. Okay. It's working out for people here. Okay, so I see quite a people are coming in. In participants, I think more people might be joining. So maybe another 15 seconds more in those who couldn't do. Sorry? No signal. And then maybe just partner with someone. Share. Associate. Okay, so we are all set to go. So what we'll do is we'll show you the question here on the screen. You will be able to see the question, not on your mobile screen. You will see the question on my screen, on the computer screen, and you will see the 4 options. I think you already started the question. Okay, so you can read this question. Misery caused by your own body mind system is Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik, Adhyatmik. You have to press the right answer. So it will be, today you will be tested. Okay, so the people are answering correctly here. Okay, everybody is able to answer, those who are joining online. If you find something difficult, please let me know. We'll move to the next question. Wait for 1 second. Okay, so misery caused by your own body mind system is called what? Adi? Adi Bhautik?
Adi
Adhyatmik? Adi Bhautik? Okay, so the right answer is? It is Adhyatmik. Your own body mind system is Adhyatmik. The misery is created by others is called Adi Bhautik, and misery is created by the nature is called Adi Devik. Something is wrong? Okay, so the right answer is Adhyatmik. Okay, so maybe your team has done something. That's okay, but the point is we are trying to learn. Okay, go to the next question. Be ready. Okay, so this is true or false. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. These 4 principles are common to both human beings and animals. True or false? You have to answer on this one. Ahar nidra bhaymatunam cha samanyam etad pashubhir naranam. It is common in the animals and the human beings.
True.
Okay. Next.
Prabhuji not able to click the answers.
Okay. Just make sure that you have a good signal and then you have to click on. Try in some ways. I don't know how can I help you. But maybe just open it again or something. The pin is shown on the screen. And try again or something. Yeah, go next. So again, it is true and false. Okay. Question is, we can be happy in our life by working hard and getting a lot of opulences. The answer, you can be happy by working hard and getting a lot of money, power, position, opulences. Okay. So as we already discussed, secret of happiness is the spiritual stuff, not in the material. Material opulences doesn't guarantee happiness. Can give you the comforts. They can give you the suvidha, not the sukh. There's a difference between sukh and suvidha. Or probably they can give you some sukh, but they cannot give you the anand. All right. So that is the understanding. Okay, go next. Characteristics of the real problems are common to all, no one wants, no one can avoid, all of the above. Please read the question carefully. Characteristic of the real problems, common to all, no one wants, no one can avoid, or all the above. I think a lot of people are giving the right answers. It's like the audience is very smart. We should have made it a little tough. Next time we should. Okay, next question. Acquiring knowledge by inference is called Pratyaksha Praman, Anuman Praman, Shabd Praman, all of the above. Acquiring knowledge. So we discussed about the three ways of acquiring the knowledge. Pratyaksha Praman, Anuman Praman, or Shabd Praman. Okay, so the right answer is Anuman Praman. So Pratyaksh Praman means acquiring the knowledge through your sense perception, through your senses. Anuman Praman is speculative knowledge, and Shabd Praman is knowledge from the scriptures. Okay, so this is the knowledge by inference means speculative knowledge, speculations. Okay, next. Symptom of the soul is mind, consciousness, body, intelligence. Symptom of the soul.
Consciousness.
Okay, you are leaking the answers here. A lot of other participants. You have to answer in your whatever you are playing the device. Okay, 13 people gave the right answer. Consciousness. 2 people said mind. 2 people said intelligence. Okay, at least people know that body is not the symptom. That much is okay. So the symptom of the soul is consciousness, right? Avinashi tu tadviddi yena sarvam idam tadam 2.17, which is spreaded all over the body is consciousness. That is the sign of the consciousness. Yeah, sorry, soul. Next. Size of the soul is 1/10 tip of the hair, 100 tip of the hair, 1000 tip of the hair, 1/10,000 tip of the hair. Please mark the right answer carefully. Okay, so 1/10,000 tip of the hair. Keshagra satbhagasya satkalpasya. So 100 divided by then again 100. So 10,000. So 14 people answered it right. Wonderful. Next. One of the feature of the soul is achedyoyam. Achedyo. Meaning, achedyo means soul cannot be burnt, soul cannot be pierced, soul cannot be dried, soul cannot be moisturized. I think this is the easy one.
Yes, soul cannot be pierced.
You are piercing our answers. Please give your answers in a device, not here. Some other people are also playing. They might be thinking the right answers. Okay, so 10 people said soul cannot be pierced, and 6 people said soul cannot be burnt. Okay, so the right answer is achedyo. You cannot pierce. You cannot make. Chedna means to pierce or to hole. Next. Okay,
Should
question
do
is,
pious activities.
one should do pious activities to avoid bondage because sinful activities cause bondage. One should do pious activities to avoid bondage because sinful activities cause bondage.
False.
Okay, so the answer is false because we discussed in the last session, fifth session, that even the pious activities also cause the bondage and the sinful activities also cause the bondage. So karma and vikarma both cause the bondage. So what we should do is akarma.
Akarma.
So we discussed about the karma, right? Okay. So everything, either you do punya karma, pap karma, you will be bound here. So we should go beyond that. And we discussed in detail about that. Okay, next. What is the purpose of dharma? To have materially opulent life, to live healthily and peaceful life, to develop love of God, to serve the society. Why we should do the dharma?
To develop love of God.
Yeah, so today's winner is you only, Mantaji. We'll give the special prize to you. You are only answering all the questions. And you're giving all the right answers. That was the last question. I think there's more. Wonderful. Okay, illumination is the symptom of which mode? So we discussed about the 3 modes: mode of goodness, mode of passion, ignorance, and all of the illumination. Prakashakam anamayam. I explained that.
Tattva.
Okay, so mode of goodness. So the people are in knowledge, in light. Okay, that's the right answer. 5 people gave the wrong answer. Next. Recommended process for connecting to the Lord is chanting the holy name, closed right meditation, fire sacrifice, following the rituals.
Chanting the holy name.
Yeah. So you all attending, those who are attending the session, your attending the session is successful. You know this answer. Chanting the holy name. That is the recommended process in this modern age. Nice. Next. True and false. If a person does not know the laws of nature, he'll be exempted from punishment. So you don't know. So you should be exempted. Right. Let us see that how many people answered it right. Oh, practically everyone. Okay, so one person said true. It is not true. Ignorance of law is no excuse. If you don't know the law, not be exempted. You'll be still punished. So better we get educated about the laws by reading Bhagavad Gita. Okay, next. Bhagwan possesses how many opulences in full? 6, 7, 8, 9.
6.
We should have asked that what are those 6 opulences? Okay, so 6 is the right answer. Shad Aishwarya Purnam. So Bhagwan means one who possesses the 6 opulence. What are the 6 opulence? Okay, Aishwarya opulence, Aishwaryasya, Viryasya, Virya means power, and then Shriya, beauty, and then Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Virasya, Yashasya, Shriya. Yash means fame, Shri means beauty, Gyan means knowledge, and then Vairagya. These are the 6 opulence. One who possesses all the 6 opulences in full is the definition of Bhagwan. So now, through this definition, you can understand. Nowadays, you will see there's a lot of Bhagwans are emerging out in the street. I am Bhagwan, you are Bhagwan, everyone is Bhagwan. So you just ask them, show some opulence. Not 6, at least show something few. And you will understand. So we are protected. Okay, next. I think last question. Okay. The topmost yoga system recommended in Bhagavad Gita is Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Stang Yoga, Karma Yoga.
Bhakti.
Bhakti Yoga. Still somebody answered. Okay. Karma Yoga. It is not Karma Yoga. What is the recommendation of 6.47 you should read? Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamamad. So Krishna is saying among all kinds of yogis, Jnana yogis, Stang yogis, Karma yogis, who the topmost yogi? One who is worshipping me, which is referring to the Bhakti Yoga. So Bhagavad Gita is recommending the Bhakti Yoga to practice. And how to practice Bhakti Yoga? It's very, very simple. We understand. Recommended process is chanting of the holy name of the Lord, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So when someone chant this, you are a Bhakti Yogi. So you are all yogis. Okay. So we couldn't do this last time, but nice to do this. So it will show the score here. Who's the winner? Okay, first 3 people at least we can see. Okay, so is the first person. It's coming in the limelight. Madan Aborivo. Congratulations. So you got the crux. And the second is, who's that? Something. Guess me who? How to guess? I don't know how to guess. And the third is Surya. Okay. So wonderful. Keep chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And we'll chant now at least, not keep chanting. And also another thing is I want to again insist on, because last week we couldn't do it very consistently. So I sincerely request everyone to join this evening 15 minutes call, which we have started, which is 8:30 to 8:45 every evening. So we'll post, if you need any help, you can put the message here in the chat box. We will give you the link. You can just sign up for that and we'll add you to the group. So in this 15 minutes, we chant one round of Hare Krishna mantra together, everyone. The association, and then 5-10 minutes we read the book and we discuss and understand a little bit. We just take one point for the day, contemplate. So book reading happens and then chanting also we do. The association, book reading and chanting. And that is the real diet for the soul. So please try to join and inspire others also to join. It is ultimately for our own benefit. And the idea is that we become more and more sincere and more fixed up in our spiritual progress. Okay. So now I'll be chanting one round of Hare Krishna mantra together quickly.